Hello friends, and welcome to the Legends Championship presented by Mayhem Athlete. As you can see, day one has come to a close. Day two is already set up. There is so much action we have to get you guys caught up on. First, I want to thank our friends at Advocare who have helped us to bring you all this coverage and to put on this event for the athletes. There's a QR on your screen. If you guys click on that, they've got a special offer just for you. All right, well, as I mentioned, 7 divisions, men and women. We got to get you guys caught up. We're going to start right now with the women's 65 plus, where the defending CrossFit Games champion Julie Holt ran the field, taking the win on both events and walking away from a perfect day with 200 points. Betty Harden and Mary Stewing are tied for second with 172 points. 4-time Games veteran Liz Cole will have a hole to climb out of on day 2. She finished the day in 7th. It's tight at the top of the leaderboard for the men's 65-plus age group. Cal Charrington and Jim Pieper end day 1 in a tie for first. Charrington is a 4-time CrossFit Games athlete and the 2022 CrossFit Games champion in this division. Moving down the leaderboard, the women's 60 to 64 category was dominated on day 1 by 2 women, Canada's Patricia McGill and Debbie Corwin from Las Vegas. Corwin finished 9th in Madison last year, where McGill took 2nd. She found CrossFit at 50 years old in 2010 and has continued to improve ever since. On the men's side, the 60 to 64 division has been rattled by newcomer Brian Wilson, who finished day 1 in first place. He went 2nd and 1st on the day and will carry a 14-point lead into day 2. 50 to 59 women. Finland's Ulrika Curtin leaves day 1 in first place after ticking almost 7,000 meters in endless ergs, a competitive score across any division. Defending 55 to 59-year-old champion from the CrossFit Games, Shanna Bunce, is close on her heels. Bunce took 2nd place in both events on the day. They are tied on points, but the tie break goes to Curtin. John Don Joyan leads the way for the men in the 55 to 59 division, and tied for first in event 2 with Joe Lopez, who has 2nd place in the overall standings locked down. Lemerson Caporali brings an international spark to the competition. The Brazilian exits the first day in 3rd place. Now, the 50s. Ladies first. Tia Gebbe went 2nd and 1st on the day, locking in the overall lead by 10 points. Gebbe is a former national Croatian swimmer who took 2nd at this year's CrossFit Games. Leslie Haycock is in 2nd place overall. In the men's 50 to 54, South African Rowan Lowe is another unknown athlete making waves at the Legends competition this year. He went 4th and 1st on the opening day and walked into Friday with the overall lead. However, just 2 points behind. Nick Harbula and Canadian Corey Borlean are breathing down his neck. On the women's side, Angie Penny traveled from South Africa to compete, and with a 1st place in endless ergs and a tie for 3rd in Benjamin Button, she's certainly made the most of her trip so far. Velvet Minnick is just a few points back in 2nd. Perhaps the most surprising news from day 1 came from the men's 45 to 49-year-old category, where the fittest man from the Games and 2-time Legends Championship winner Jason Grubb is in 2nd place after 2 events. The division is led by Vlad Laskovich, who took 3rd at this year's CrossFit Games for the 45 to 49ers. Amy Edelman leads the female 40 to 44s. Julia Kenyon and Raylan Bartov traded 1st and 4th on the events, finishing the day in a tie for 2nd overall. In the men's 40 to 44, it's Rudy Berger who leads the way, but Chris Rail Jr. is breathing down his neck, just 4 points behind, and tomorrow is a brand new day. On now to the women's 35 to 39-year-old division, where after a perfect day, it's hard to believe that anyone can stop Allison Stahl. However, April Payne has managed to keep Stahl in her sights. She trails by 18 points with a whole different set of tests inbound on day 2. David Siverston was the most consistent, backing up a 1st place finish in endless ergs with a 5th place finish in event 2. Marco Coppola's 7th and 2nd place finishes kept him in the run for the podium early on. This may be the race to watch, with only 50 points separating 1st from 10th.